I'm Daniel Winkler with Winkler Knives. This is our new model, the Survival Striker. We wanted to create a knife that's great for a survival type tool. This one has a storage area inside the handle, which we'll go over more in later in the video. We put fire making equipment inside of it. You may want to do that. You might want to carry something else. This is a very robust knife, very well suited to batoning and shelter building, fire making, just any number of outdoor chores. And although I'm not a real survival expert, I have spent a good bit of time in the backcountry, and this is the kind of knife that I would like to have with me when I'm out. So stay tuned, we have more coming up. Preparation for your fire is very important, especially in adverse conditions like the wet conditions we have here with the snowfall. Scan your area for materials that would be good for fire. Dry hanging limbs, deadfall is all good. Plus prep your fire area with some dry rocks or sticks if you can find them. Have a good solid bed to build your fire on. Start collecting dry leaves, pine needles, anything under deadfall that might have been protected from the elements. It'll be dry for getting your fire started. Making your wood manageable size pieces is as easy as using leverage with trees or breaking them. You can also baton to make smaller pieces out of large limbs, and this knife is very well suited to batoning. I use a live stick for batoning because you have to have something really solid to not break it up when you're hitting the back of the knife. If you can't find enough dry tinder, you can always make it by finding as dry a limb as you can and make your own shavings for tinder, cutting down into the deep heartwood of the limb. It'll take a while. You can gather quite a bit. I use a bandana to catch the shavings so they don't fall on the ground and get wet again. It's also a good opportunity to make a sharpened stick for digging. Now that you've gathered your dry material, your sticks, your tinder, you get your steel wool in shape in place to catch a spark. The steel wool is not going to create a flame, but it's going to catch a spark and generate heat that you can blow into a flame utilizing the dry tinder that you've gathered. if you're going to be needing your fire for a while after you initially build it, it's a good idea to use something like a backlog that will burn and smolder for a long period of time while you're out doing other things. Once you have your backlog in place, then you can easily rekindle your flame by using more dry tinder and just blowing into it to regenerate the heat that was there from your previous fire. Okay, to remove the handle to access the storage area, we include a screwdriver on the sheath in a separate pocket. Remove the front screw and loosen the back screw. That way you can use the back screw as a pivot. Not as likely to lose your hardware that way, only keeping up with the one screw that comes out and possibly the post on the other side. Inside you'll find a ferro rod and a plastic bag with steel wool in it. Probably enough steel wool in here for making 1 or 2 fires, so if you're going to be out for any extended period of time, I'd suggest carrying more steel wool protected in your day pack. Be sure and take care of your hardware and ferro rod and don't lose it in the leaves. So it might be a good idea after you open it to put the knife back together or either stick these parts in your pocket. We've used an antique finish on this knife, easy to take care of, very robust. We've serial numbered the first 100, and then we've incorporated a double lanyard, which comes in real handy for lashing to a pole, and then a hammer pole in case you have to break something or do some hammering.